How's it going, everyone? Welcome back. Happy Monday. It is the start of November. It's start of Thanksgiving soon. Actually, Thanksgiving happened like a month ago in Canada. Thanksgiving soon for Americans. Christmas around the corner, but we are starting our November edition today of our State of the Market, where we talk about the market prices, some stuff the direction we expect prices to go, some ways to make coins, all associated with working the hot market. So we're going to start off with this. It is, I think this year, and it's an opinion, we'll see if we're right or not down the road, but I do think this year is the most important year for synergies that we have seen yet, especially, the team synergies like distributor, because we are seeing players, this year the speeds are lower. So I didn't know Matthews had distributor, good for him, but we're seeing the speeds are a lot lower on players. And that means, even we'll get the masters up here real quickly here. We'll get the master puppies. These are not distributed. Is this broken? There's no Hayskinens up. Hayskinen, hello, friend. Hayskinen? Hayskinen. Oh, we're on Synergy Style Gladiator. That'll do it. Wait, that was intelligent. Edit that out. No, we'll leave it in there for authenticity purposes. There we go. Better. Distributor. But we're seeing these guys, like the Carlsons of the world, 85. I like the Hayskinen option better here. Hayskinen, 87, which is, where you're going to see a lot of defenseman speeds at the end of the year, because they can't, out of 90, I guess. But, Hayskinen, for example, 9 right there, you'd be plus 5 at the most, 92. His speed would be a 92 with no synergies, but you pump onto synergy and you can stack the synergies, and the man's a 94 right now. And you're talking about Hayskinen being an end game card. For that reason, we're seeing a lot of the hot market, as far as value is concerned, is centered around players with distributor. I think a lot of, the answer right now you look at the prime times. You look at the team of the weeks that get distributor. We'll go through a couple real quick if there are any up. Center. We better filter properly here. We are on, I want to go probably, for me, I'm thinking 84 overall. I'm thinking 84 plus. I will try 83. Let's try 83 actually. 83 is still relevant right now too, because we're thinking guys that can be, third, fourth line guys that you can throw in your team that are usable with distributor, so you can unlock it. That's important for people, and for that reason, they're all going to hold a lot of value. Left wings, Pertuzzi, that was a perfect example. A guy came out 83 overall, he's 60K because of distributor. But when he came out in packs, originally, he's under 10K or 20K or 15K. But the second he's out of packs, he's going to go up, because he does have, even Bertuzzi is an example, he's an 81 speed. You get a guy that comes out with an 84 overall with a decent speed, you give him distributor, he's going to be a guy that can be a third, fourth line player for any team. You're going to see that price skyrocket whenever he's out of packs. So I'm looking for, when it comes to players in packs, good investments, looking for distributors straight across the board all the time. If you add on one of the single players, is it Howitzer and Speedster? Is it Speedster? Let me make sure I'm saying it right. Those two, single player synergies, they add that on there as well. Some of these guys with the double synergy, it makes them that much more expensive. That's why you're seeing the, the Hayskins end of the world go for so much. As far as master items are concerned, I still do feel like this will end up being, and with the exception of this November one that's out for, or Thanksgiving one, whatever this, what is this holiday? Halloween one that's out for a week. I think you see a lot of these guys end up being good buys in the second week. 2 weeks, these players are releasing events. You look in, the second week when a lot of packs are being ripped, the Wednesday, Thursdays of the world there. I still think that's a good buying day, and you can hold on to them for a couple of days. We'll look at, Hayskinen, for example, 800K, it's, because he's a stud. But he was, he's a guy you get for 350, the 89 overall. Now he's back up to 500. Perfect example. You buy him when you're in packs. There's a lot out. I think Carlson, I keep wanting to wait on Carlson. I feel like I'm getting greedy here, but I want to see 450. I want to see 400. I'd like to see him get down to that much. We'll see if it happens. I don't feel good about paying 500K for a Carlson at 89, because he's an 89. He'll be, there's the 90. But the thing is, it's November now, and I would expect EA to release new sets that are 90 overalls and 91 overalls, which would mean these cards aren't the best in the game with distributor anymore. And for that reason, I think I'm gonna be cautious with the John Carlsons of the world, and maybe wait the week out, because it is just a week if they don't come down. For the most part, that's the strategy there with the MasterCard still. As far as collectibles are concerned, we brought it up last time. Those babies are 30, 40K. Those too cheap. You had to stack them up. You pick as many of them up as possible, and now was the time to sell. They're sitting right around 65, 70K. 70K is the max you can have unless EA lifts the max on them. And I do think, pending EA, that was so intelligent. Pending EA goes out and lifts the max, which they might lift it where you could sell them for 90K or something. I think, if that happens, you might see, if there's a big event out, like a team of the season type event, you might see the golds temporarily spike up to 90, 85, 90K. But that'll, again, That's the sweet spot. The 68, 69K has always been a sweet spot for collectibles. So when they're in that range, I like to personally at this time of the year flip them more than invest in them. I look for, when packs are being ripped, I look for 50K, 52, 53, and then, wait until the new event comes out of the weekend and list those puppies up for anywhere from, 60 to 66K or so on these collectibles. I think they sold for, I want to say, I'll take a look here real quick. I want to say they were selling for 67 earlier this season. Pardon all my gold players. I was ripping mega packs this weekend trying to see if we could make the coins back with the lower overall ones. And, well, some of them did sell, so it didn't go too well. I had to give it a try, though, there. But actually, it did work out because we ended up pulling some good players. Some of our best pulls we had this season. But, yeah, I got 67.9 there on that and 66.9 over the weekend there. And so decent on those gold collectibles there, I think. I'll tell you one thing. I'll be straight up. I haven't done it that much this year, but I'm about to start. And that is the 80 below players that are gold and getting them for 100K because they do sell for 100K. The gold players that are base players. To clarify, base players on NHL teams, not AHL, not the, the icons or whatever, but on NHL teams that are needed for the sets. Because a lot of these guys that need to be put in sets, you can end up selling for, 1,500 coins. And if you 59-minute mark them, again, everything you need your spam and stuff, 59-minute popular time today, packs are being ripped. You can pick a lot of these guys up for 1,000 coins, 950, 1,000 if you're watching them there. And I think, again, we got to be mindful that they just released diamond packs Saturday, so it kind of messed with the market here on Sunday or whatever, Monday, and everything ongoing. Typically Sunday, Monday, good selling days. Not as much now because of those diamond packs being out, but, it should bounce back to regular, selling coming next Monday again there. But I like the idea of buying those. You buy a couple, buy 50, 60 of those. Even at 1,000, you don't even get 1,500. Let's say you get 1,300, The thing is, that's 3 by 1,000 by 100, 3,000, 300 by 100. That's what? Is that right? 30K? 30K? Yeah, 30K you make off of those there. 300 by 10. Yeah, it should be 30K. We're going to go 30K. Even if it's not right, we're going 30K. So, you can always go down that route as well. It's just a little bit more, it's, what you call it, taxing, because it's not the big, it's not the quick 50 to 60K, buy a couple collectibles and be done for the day. But it does add up, though, at the same time. You're making 30% profit on those, 40%, 50% if you can get 1,500. And even some go for 1,800, 1,900, 2K still. So it's still a pretty lucrative game there to play, I think. And again, the gold collectibles are your gauge for that. As long as gold collectibles are going for, or gold icon collectibles, I should say, as long as they're gold for that 60K range, you can expect the gold players to be pricey. And if you see gold icons, falling below 50K, 45K, then you got to be a little bit more worrisome of paying for the gold players because it's just, when you put 50 gold players in for the collectible, you got to keep that in mind there, the conversion. But as far as, let's say, we'll go to the 84, 85 range. I'm not really big on it no more. I still will try to look into the flip of the 86, 87, flip them a couple of days after they're, again, same story, ripping a lot of packs Wednesday, Thursday, whatever, and flip them on a Sunday, Monday. We'll still look down in that direction, but as far as the 84, 85s, I'm not really too big on them. I just think there's too many guys, with a speed game's too important. If there's some guys from speed, they hold a little bit of value, but for the most part, I think they're on a really slow decline. You can always look, and be mindful of the price, and you want to try a 59-minute, get a steal, of course, go ahead. But as far as, buying like 5, 10, 15 of them and just waiting 3 days in general and just saying, okay, they're going to be an extra 2, 3K, I'm not as big on that just because, they're slowly declining. You might still be able to squeeze it out, but I'm avoiding it a little bit. I still, again, don't mind the 86, 87 range for that, though. I will say, though, pro tip real quickly, I'm going to bring it up. If you, you go into buying this stuff and you're waiting 2, 3 days and you're like, oh, what should I put the dang things up for? I bought it 3 days ago. I forgot what it was. What I'll do normally is like what I did with the Malkin. I put them up for 29.3. Now, 29.3, I don't have the slightest clue what it goes for right now. It's probably, 27-ish, 27, 30K range maybe. Again, the diamond packs came out and kind of plummeted the prices unexpectedly there. Otherwise, probably could have got 30, 32K for them on a Sunday, Monday. But, but if I put them up for 29K, I put them up for a day, 3 days, and tells myself, like, oh, it didn't sell, but I know what I paid for. I probably paid 24, 25K for that Malkin. So, I leave myself 4 or 5K in wiggle room. That way I know how much I paid for them, and you're not, down the road, if you bought a whole bunch of players one day, you don't forget what you paid for them, and you're not hurting yourself selling them. Or at the same time, you're like, oh, I got it for a discount. I don't mind selling, get rid of them, make the quick 2, 3K there. In some guys as well. I think that was, for me, that's why that McKinnon sold right away, 43K, whether it's cheap or not. I think we paid, a lot less than that if we put them up for 43K. For that reason, if you would have sold, would have known, like, okay, we got a good price on them, go ahead and put them up for a couple K cheaper, still get the profit. So that's something we do there. Just a personal thing to kind of remind us of what we paid for everything because it fluctuates so much. But that kind of wraps everything up for our market episode for the month of November. Any further questions, feel free to ask them. Otherwise, though, that wraps things up. As always, if you guys appreciate, or if you guys would consider subscribing and liking the video. I would appreciate it. You never have to, though. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you next time.